And apparently the way that he found us was by going to every town in the statewide area and going, hey, has anyone seen Dutch Vanderlyn or John Marston? I'm looking for them. We're in a gang, we're kind of on the run. If anyone could tell me where they're at, that'd be really cool.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Game Talk.
You got him. Editors, cut the tape, we killed the audience. Yeah, just kidding, y'all are still out there.
All two of you out there. It took me a while to hit you. We are doing another Game Talk. My name is Keith.
My name's Will.
Will, we're talking about the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest game I've played in a decade.
I believe we are, Keith. And I believe I'm going to be talking like this for the rest of the Game Talk, if that's okay with you. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that.
I'm sure that's okay.
Just get all the memes out, get them all out.
Sure. He said it. He said the word sure by itself so many times in the game. Sure.
Yeah. And a lot of times it didn't fit perfectly. I feel like they just had that one and they really like that soundbite, so they're just like, the algorithm was just like, let's have Arthur say sure here.
But we are talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. We've got the Martin lever action 30-30 on the table.
Got a bunch of dips, so my dead eye is ready to go.
That's right.
Y'all pissed me off. I'm popping one in. I'm going off.
And I have my cocaine gum.
I'm more of a dead man.
I really love this gun. It's my favorite gun. I have a couple more modern ones, but there's something about the lever action, baby.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to shoot this bad girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a bonus bit for this one.
Yeah, we might do that. It is a lot of fun. But we're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm. I would dare say, the last huge game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we gave the first two their own spoiler talk, God of War, Spider-Man. It's only right we do it for the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
So we're here talking about everything we think about Red Dead 2. I mean, mostly you're probably going to focus on the story a lot, at least me personally, because the story is what really affected me in this game. But yeah, we can just go into it.
That's usually what we do. Usually we start at the beginning and we'll hit gameplay on the way through, but we just kind of walk through the story.
Yeah, hitting this first.
I just wanted to show the folks that I do have my Switch here. I don't want you to think I left it.
Yeah, it's a staple.
It is a staple. That's a Game Talk thing.
Yep.
That's our thing we do. So Will, you boot up the game.
I boot up the game. And I booted up at midnight, because that's how I am now.
I can't do that.
But I was a little sleepy. Only played about like the first part where you're up in the snow, you know? And then I went back to it. And that's whenever Kevin gave me his PS4 very shortly after that. So I started playing Spider-Man. I have a thing with open world games where I'll start them off, and then once it gives me the open world, I get overwhelmed, shut down, run off to another game that's smaller, and then come back to it later. I have to let it rest on my subconscious for a while. It kind of freaked me out. Yeah. But once I got back to it, loved it. But I like the getting to, I'm not gonna lie. Once I first did Deadeye again, I was like, ooh, how I've missed this. It's been a long 8 years. That cowboy music kicks in, smile lights up my face. I love it.
Deadeye is one of those things where it's not a last resort, but it's something I remember whenever I get frustrated too. It's like, I try to just pull out and shoot this guy.
Yeah.
Like I give him a chance.
Yeah.
I give you a chance just regular. I'm gonna L2 and then push up to your head and hope I get you, but if I don't,
then
it's over. It's absolutely over.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of abuse it. Yeah. I Deadeye everyone, but it doesn't feel the same. Plus, I mean, the shooting is a little wonky. I mean, it makes sense though, because I mean, we're using guns from the 1800s.
That's true.
But so I usually end up relying on the auto aim or doing the Deadeye.
One thing they added was that circle around your reticle that you have to wait for it to get, because it starts out pretty wide.
Oh yeah, like Pokemon Go.
And your bullet will travel anywhere in that space, and then eventually, if you wait long enough, Arthur, whoever you're playing as.
This is a spoiler talk. But yeah,
Arthur will shoot him in that one specific spot. But let's talk about the story. It opens in the snow.
It opens in the snow, and a robbery has just gone horribly wrong. We don't know all the details to it.
A theme.
Yes.
A theme.
You could say that as a theme.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly what went wrong.
We know
some people died.
And we know like a little girl was killed, right?
Yeah.
By the man himself.
Yes.
Dutch Vanderlyn. And this is out of character for him, we learn.
Yeah. And at first it kind of like, I didn't really understand why Arthur was being so like hoity-toity about their lot in life. How he was kind of acting like, this isn't right. It's like, of course it's not right, Arthur. You're going around murdering people and stealing their stuff. Like, how are you not? But the further I got into the game, I noticed there's a thing, I think it's beside Arthur's bed in camp, but there's a little newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
Where it's like their first ever big robbery, they like Robin Hooded it and gave it back to the poor.
Yeah.
So I was like, originally I guess they were kind of thieves with an honor code, but then it slowly starts to derail itself, and we join in right whenever it's starting to go horribly awry.
Exactly, and I think the game starts out, and they talk a lot about like the time for people like us is over.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no use for people like us in the world anymore. And that's part of the thing is that, and before we play the game, before any of Red Dead, which that was kind of the theme later on too, is that they were Wild West outlaws. That's how the Wild West was. You rob people. Like it wasn't quite the same as robbing people nowadays. Like that's it's like kill or be killed in the Wild West. So
but there are just nice little storekeepers in the Wild West, you know.
There
those people don't. Yeah. But
I think what I'm trying to say is that it wasn't quite. They probably didn't see themselves. They probably saw themselves more as like we're surviving our way.
Yeah.
Other people do it their way, and then eventually they fall into we're just bad people.
Yeah, and they have to come to grips with that. Yeah. So yeah, that is kind of just part of the story of the game. But I kind of didn't really get it at first.
Yeah, me
but but as it slowly starts to, and as I got to know Arthur more too, it started to click more with me too. But let's go before we get into broad strokes character things. We're shooting. You start saying something. Go. But so chapter 1, I was like kind of half asleep during chapter 1, Keith.
Okay.
Because it was midnight. And then by the time I came back to it, I was at the beginning of chapter 2. So I don't remember a ton of chapter 1 other than we were in the snow, we were upset, things went bad, and we saved Sadie. That's when we got Sadie, right?
There's a big portion in the middle of the game that I forgot who she was, that we saved her at the beginning. But yeah, we saved Sadie.
I kind of would forget every now and then too. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're the girl that we saved. Okay, I got it.
So it's really cool. Because you start out and we're trekking through the snow, it's a storm, and then you start hearing names that you recognize. You hear like Javier, and you hear John Marston.
And you hear John Marston speak, is that John?
And you hear Arthur, and so we know from marketing that Arthur Morgan is our character. We know this, but we're just kind of following the gang, and Arthur and John and everybody, or I don't know, remember if John is with them, but we got some scouts out.
Yeah.
John is with them. The scouts are out looking for a place. We finally find a camp to lay low at, and we set up camp. We're on the run. On the run from the Pinkertons. The Pinkertons from the beginning. The Pinkertons from the beginning are after us. We set up camp, and then once we set up camp, it's like, all right, we need to eat, and we need to go find John, and we need to go find whoever else is out there. We also learned some other deaths, like some members of the gang have died right before the story starts, and we hear their names, and those were big losses for us.
Sorry, what were we saving John from at the beginning?
He was scouting. He went off scouting for a place to stay, and then he ended up getting chased up a mountain, and we were looking for him, and we find him up on that mountain.
I remember that.
Where he gets his characteristic scars.
Yes.
So that is an awesome moment, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Is whenever you're looking for John in the snow, and then I think you're with Javier, and Javier says, "I hear somebody. It might be John." Then you like that voice that you heard so much of in Red Dead 1 that you recognize so well. You hear, "Hey, help!" And that's John. Like,
there he is.
The character, and you realize
that's John.
That's the John we're talking about.
That was a cool moment.
And he has scars on his face, and that's the first time you shoot anything in that mission. You shoot wolves.
Yeah.
With a sawed off.
And then I remember after that, because the thing with this game is, Keith, we'll probably talk about more about this in Goaty and comparing it to God of War.
Sure.
But where God of War is a movie to me, Red Dead is a TV show.
Okay.
In that every mission kind of can stand on its own sometimes, but they're all part of this bigger story. But still, it's kind of like, okay, now we're going to go check in with this person. Let's see what Michael wants. Let's go see what this guy wants. So it seems more spread out than God of War does. I'm not going to say which one I prefer.
Sure.
But one of the first big, things where we go out to help this one person is one guy in the jail, Micah. Or one guy in the gang goes to jail, and it's Micah. And I remembered Micah's name because wasn't he he was trying to do some mean stuff, some nasty stuff to Sadie when y'all saved her, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think he was.
Leave us a comment.
Let us know. But I knew Micah was up to no good from the very beginning.
Yeah, they immediately paint him as the guy that you don't like in the gang that's going to be causing trouble.
Yes. So you have to go save him from jail. And then you break him out of jail, and his thing is, wait, I gotta go get my guns from this house.
So he can't even tell you that, I don't think. I think he just tells you, I gotta get something.
Yeah, I gotta get something. Yeah. And then you're going through the town, shooting at, I believe it's
everyone.
Valentine or Strawberry?
Strawberry.
Okay. Shooting everyone. Lawmen, and it hurt, Keith. It hurt
exactly.
me.
The whole time.
Yes.
There's a moment in that mission. So we skipped a good bit of story, but not story. We skipped a good bit. Like there's some time in here.
Yeah.
And you hit that mission.
80-hour game, folks.
Yeah, it's a long game. So up until this point, you've been able to choose who you shoot. Really, I mean, you don't shoot just anybody. You shoot who they tell you to, but it's not been like just random men that come out of their homes from their families.
Yeah.
But you're like Micah goes you do go blow a hole in the jail to open them up, but nobody dies because of that.
Yeah.
And then Micah's like, I gotta get something. Then he's like, follow me. And so all these people are shooting at you and him. You essentially kill every man in this town.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, after the first 10 dudes, I'm shooting them and I'm like video game mode. Like, I gotta kill these guys. Then I started to realize, like, that guy just came out of his house. That guy was eating dinner with his family, and I just blew him away. No more. So I take my pistol, and instead of shooting at one of the people, I aim at Micah's back. Hoping that I've been able to, you want me to make this choice. At a certain point, I can just run him down. We lost the gun. We're just going to lay it flat. You've seen it. Comment if you want me to pull it back up. This is not a live stream, but we've lost the gun. I'm getting riled up. But yeah, I aimed my gun at Micah's back, and I was pretty disappointed because it grayed out on his back. And I was like, I want to just blow this guy away.
Yeah.
But of course, by the end of the game, you realize couldn't have done that.
You can't do that.
But that was just that was the first moment where I was like, I'm a horrible person.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what it was hitting to me too, because a lot of during chapter 2, I was just like, Arthur, why are you? It seems like if you've been doing this for like 20 years, you should be pretty familiar with the fact that you're not a great guy.
Yeah.
But then by the time I read that thing, I was like, okay, I can see how Dutch can like seduce them with the idea of just being these people out on their own, completely self-sufficient, don't need any part of civilized life, and they're like I say, we only kill folks who needs killing, we rob folks who need robbing. And we feed folks who need feeding, something like that. So, yeah. And then, basically, the structure of the game, Keith, from this point, kind of just becomes, we stay in this new camp, mess things up, get into trouble. Eventually, the heat gets too hot, and we got to move to a new camp.
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of the structure of, like, the first 2/3 of the game, I would say.
And the thing is, we just need a little more money.
It's always just a little more money. We just need one more score and a little bit of faith, Arthur.
Have some faith, Arthur.
Okay, if you insist.
God dang. You know what? Darn it. I am laying it down now.
Okay.
If you want to see it, you've already seen it.
Whenever Red Dead 3 comes out, we'll try and keep it up the whole time for that one.
We'll pull that off. Hopefully by the time Red Dead 3 comes out, we'll have our children in here to hold up. They'll be old enough to hold guns. Yeah. They'll be grown.
Red Dead 3 probably will be about 20 years.
Yeah.
But at this rate. But so we were saying, we stay in a camp till things get too hot, and then we move. Is there anything else? I don't really remember exactly when the chapter split.
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly. We're trying to get out of the snow the whole time. We get out of the snow, and we've made camp near Valentine at the point where we do the Micah stuff. We travel to Strawberry, but we're camped by Valentine. And eventually we rob the bank in Valentine. Right? Or we try to rob the bank in Valentine.
Yeah, I know there's like 3 bank robberies in this game. I know one of them doesn't, or none of them go according to plan, do they? One of them might, but...
You don't really, no, it never really goes according to plan, I don't think.
Okay.
But the Valentine one probably is the closest to going to plan.
Yeah, because like we don't get any major deaths in that one.
No, but after that, I think we do pack up camp immediately.
Yeah, it's like we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Valentine is like a big red dot on the map for a while.
Exactly.
And then we move to, I forget what the next one's called. It's not the house yet. It's not the big house.
No, we go to Beaver Creek or whatever it's called.
I think that's the last
Beaver
one.
Hollow is the last one.
Yeah, Beaver Hollow is the last one.
I don't remember what it is then.
Yeah, I forgot what the third one's called. But I know it's like in between the first camp and Saint Denis is down here. And it's like right in between them kind of. And it's it's on the water.
It's on the water.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite camps.
Yeah, me too, actually.
The mission to get to that camp is really cool because Dutch says, go to this dry creek. It's something creek.
Yeah.
Go
it's not Butcher's Creek, but it's, you remember Butcher's Creek?
I don't.
Okay, it was a stranger mission.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to do all the strangers yet. There was a point where I'm like, I'm never going to get through this game if I play it the way I want to play it. So I've got to at least get through the story so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But that mission is cool because Dutch says, go to this dry creek bed, we'll make camp there. And when I rolled up on it, I was like, this is a horrible place for camp. And Arthur kind of says the same thing. He's like, this is not a good place.
I can't see how it's going to hold up in the rain.
Yeah. So you're searching that, and then you see like a wagon that has just been abandoned, and you find a family, and they're like the Germans, and like, they speak in German, but they're missing their father. You go find their father, save their father, and then that's where you find the camp. So the mission was go find camp, but it didn't go to plan, and you end up finding a good camp.
And it's a different camp other than that one, right? Yeah. And wait, what was I was about to say one of my favorite lines from it. We were talking about the German people.
Yeah.
And
you said it's not gonna hold up in the rain. And then we talked about the German people.
Oh yeah, Arthur. Whenever she's trying to speak to Arthur, she's speaking German. One of the things I love about Arthur is just his self-deprecating sense of humor.
Yeah.
And how he always refers to himself as being kind of dumb. Which I mean, he's clearly not. I mean, he's not street smart. I mean, he's not book smart by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's not a dumb guy. But there's one thing where the lady's trying to talk to him in German, and he's like, "Lady, please, I can barely speak English." Yeah. I was like, I like that, Arthur. Yeah. But we saved them. We saved the German. Do we even know what they wanted with him? They were probably just going to hold him hostage and rob him. So. Yeah. So yeah, and then we find that new camp, and then
one thing we should mention is that if surely you're not trying to experience the story of Red Dead Redemption 2 through us, because that is a bad idea. This is just a Red Dead Redemption 2 gush section.
Yeah, this is me and Keith just being buddies and having a good time talking about it again.
But what we should mention is that up until now, your main villains, you haven't seen the Pinkertons, except for there are 2 Pinkertons that arrive right before you move away from the camp in Valentine. And they
when you're fishing with Jack or whatever?
They threaten you and Jack, and they threaten the camp. But your main enemies are the O'Driscoll boys. And Colm O'Driscoll, which I don't know how much of that story we learn at this moment, but the story with the O'Driscolls is that Dutch Vanderlyn, Colm O'Driscoll, the leader of their gang, which every other gang is way bigger than yours. Like, every other gang has like 200 dudes in there. But we can kill like 10 dudes a second. Yeah. But Colm O'Driscoll...
The exchange rate for O'Driscoll versus Vanderlyn.
Exactly. Colm O'Driscoll killed Dutch Vanderlyn's lover, and Dutch killed Colm's brother. So they're locked in this eternal struggle.
This eternal feud.
Which leads to some cool moments.
Evil versus evil.
Yeah, evil versus evil. There's no good versus evil. Anti-heroes.
But yeah, so they are kind of the main villains up at this point. What were we going to say about them?
No, I was just saying that we haven't mentioned any foes yet, and the O'Driscolls are foes that follow us throughout the whole game, really. Yeah,
pretty much. They're an everlasting threat until we get them good at the end.
We do get
them good. What else happens? Chapter 3 is the one where we're playing like Family Wars, right? With the Greys versus the Braithwaites.
The Greys versus the Braithwaites, Hatfields and McCoys, down south. It's interesting because you have to remember it's a video game, so it can't. When we go down south, the equivalent of travel they want us to think we've done is go from like Montana, not Montana, but like a Utah or a Colorado or somewhere, or Arizona, maybe like the way out west, or West Texas, all the way to Louisiana. And maybe even close to Florida. That's the idea, really. But it's not that.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not. We take place. I mean, it's basically America because they talk. It's 1899. They talk about the Civil War and stuff. But it's clearly not America because none of the states are. It's like West Elizabeth. It's like Lemoyne. Lemoyne's probably Louisiana, right? Yeah. And stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. I think the GTA games do that too, though, right?
I just want because what's Los Santos? That's LA.
Yeah, that's LA. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that one thing throughout the game they started talking about we're in the South now, like things are different here. But really, I just rode my horse 10 minutes to get here. But I had to wrap my mind around like, well, no, we've condensed America. Yeah. And so we've just traveled, from Texas all the way through Kansas, who knows, and now we're in Louisiana. So it was interesting how they even make people act differently in these different regions, and we're in the Everglades and the swamp.
I don't know if you did any of there's one Stranger mission though where you encounter racism in the South, where there's a traveling black doctor, and some of the guys in town like take his medical van and like his caravan and all his supplies, and you gotta go get it back for him. And Arthur just seems so like perplexed by why they would do that to him. Like, you realize Arthur's pretty woke when it comes to racial relations.
Arthur is woke.
So he just doesn't get it. Like, for 1899, he's ahead of his time. But
because he's an outlaw, and he's like their group is full of all kind of different races, so like they all care about each other.
He doesn't quite get it. And I was ironically using woke, everyone.
Woke. Now that's what me and Will use that all the time. Yeah, sometimes I text Will in the morning, like, "Hey man, you stay woke? You woke? I know you sleeping, but you woke? Stay woke."
He did that this morning, actually.
I didn't mean to derail us. I just want to mention that about the map. But you were talking about going to Lemoyne, and we are in the Hatfield and McCoy situation, near the town of Rhodes, which is controlled by the Greys.
Yeah, and the Greys are the sheriff is one of the Greys, right?
He is.
He's Sheriff Grey. Yeah.
I forget his name. One of my favorite moments from the whole game happens in this exchange.
what is it?
So essentially, you kind of back and forth, Greys versus Braithwaites, and then because the whole thing is, we think they have some gold. We think there's some Braithwaite gold or some gold. We're trying to get a big score, and Dutch Vanderlyn is playing these two houses against these two families against each other, and the whole time Arthur is like, Dutch, you're just using these. We're not really helping these people. We're just using them to. And Dutch is always like, no, I'm not using them. But if something happens,
a theme. Another theme.
I'm not using them. But if something good happens, then so be it, or whatever. Yeah. Which again becomes a theme. But there's a point where we have turned the families against each other, and then it kind of blows up in our face. And the Braithwaites are like, nah, f this. We're gonna screw with you now. And so they steal Jack. Yeah. And Dutch, we come back from a mission with Dutch, I think. And they're screaming how the Braithwaites have stolen Jack. And Dutch goes into Papa Bear mode, and he's like, "Everybody, mount up! We're going to get Jack back." And one of my favorite moments from the whole game is whenever we walk up to that house.
I captured it on my Xbox. I had it saved. Yeah.
Because the music is playing, and we're standing at the gate, and then
we're walking slowly.
Yeah.
And then we start.
Oh man, it's so good. Like you're standing at the gate, and then Dutch says, "All right, come on, y'all," and everybody you lose control. Yeah. You feel like you're controlling, but you lose control, and you're all lined up, walking to this dark manor, and you're just we're about to blow the lid off this place altogether because we're getting Jack back.
And Dutch is just saying something under his breath. He's like, "They stole a damn boy," and I just love how he says that. And John's over there getting heated, and he's like, "John, you should keep your head." Yeah. But then we light that place on fire, literally, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We literally burn it down. It gets pretty dark in that moment, but just the walk up to the house.
You mean with the old woman? Yeah. That is pretty dark.
Because I think what this game, unlike any other Rockstar game, I think it wants you to consider the people you're killing. Yeah. Like in Grand Theft Auto. I've killed, and I don't feel good about saying this, but I've killed probably 10,000 police officers in Grand Theft Auto in my time. If you pick online and story mode, there's a lot of blood on my hands in Grand Theft Auto. But I didn't consider. I mean, there's innocent civilian blood. Sometimes you got to test some things out, and I feel bad for saying that. And if people out of context, of course, I need to. There's a full explanation, but out of context, that sounds bad. It's a video game. Let's just calm down. I've never hurt anybody in real life, but they don't make you consider that. Yeah. A cop is a cop is a cop is a cop. They're all pigs, and they got when they're
getting you an NWA on Christmas Eve.
What I'm saying is that they don't make you think about it. They don't make you consider, oh, this guy just gunned down to steal this money, has a family, and he's a real person. He lives in this world. He's just somebody who's trying to stop me, and I'm the main character, and I don't get stopped.
Plot armor.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this game is that they do make you consider that, and this is a moment where they do that, because you get to the top of this house where this old lady, Madame Braithwaite, is hiding, who has stolen Jack. And after that really cool scene, because you walk in there and you know, based on the way they're walking up, we are going to kill everybody here and we're going to take this boy back, and that's how it's going to go. You know that. It is broadcasted. Yeah. Dutch says it with his posture. And so you walk in and you kill every last person there. Everyone who's shooting at you, dead. Everyone who's protecting their grandma or aunt or mom or whoever. The two guys that are in the room with her, probably her sons. One of them, you open it up, dead eye, I think usually is what happens, and she ducks down and they're dead. Yeah. Every person that she cares about, dead. You've killed them all. And the game doesn't say, it's not okay, mission over, let's leave. Yeah. Dutch grabs this old woman after lighting her home on fire, drags her by her hair down the stairs and into the yard. And I'm thinking, please don't make me watch it. Mean old lady, nice old lady, I can't watch this. I'm going to turn away. And so he doesn't kill her. He leaves her in the yard, and she's talking about how you've killed my sons, I don't have anything left or whatever. My legacy. Everything is gone, and she's still, spitting venom the whole time. So she doesn't say she's sorry or anything, and you learn where Jack has been taken. But it's one of those moments where it makes you consider, I just wiped out a whole family. This world is not going to be the same.
And I think Dutch even rubs it into her while he's dragging her down, saying something about all your sons are dead or something like that. And it's
And that was a very hard-hitting story moment for me, and it's one of those things where this isn't just another Rockstar game. It doesn't feel like. Yeah. They are making me feel bad for what I'm doing, which is the general arc of the thing is that Arthur starts in one place, and then he realizes, like, wait, I am the bad guy. And then he tries to fix it. And so throughout, you as the player are also realizing, wait a second, I'm the bad guy.
This is not cool what we're doing.
I talked a lot, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. That was awesome, Keith. That was fire. But then we, so after that, it's pretty much we move camp, right?
We do. After that, I mean, you burn down that house and it's pretty much
like we gotta get out of there. And then we we move into a different mansion though. It's not that, because that mansion gets burned down, but it is a pretty similar mansion.
From there, you move to right outside of Saint Denis, right?
And aren't the O'Driscolls chilling in that? They're like squatting there, and we have to go kill them? Or maybe it's not O'Driscolls, but it's some gang.
No, it's the Lemoyne Raiders.
Yeah, the Lemoyne Raiders.
It's the Confederates that are still holding out.
Yeah.
Because you go there with Lenny one time, and you kill a bunch of them there at first.
Yeah. I remember that.
Lenny, also, we haven't mentioned the most memeable scene. Is there?
Oh yeah.
Arthur becomes friends with they have two black people in their gang. Lenny and God, I knew her name until I started to say
Tilly.
Lenny and Tilly. Tilly is a woman, and Lenny is a young man that they got with them, and Arthur kind of has taken him under his wing. If you were to ask Arthur, who do you want to bring on this mission with you, he usually would say Lenny, unless it was required someone else.
Lenny's probably like one of the youngest guys in the gang, right?
Yeah, exactly. Young. I would probably put him early 20s, if not late teens.
Yeah.
But at one point, him and Arthur go drinking at a bar in Valentine.
Just one.
Yeah. They just have one drink, and then they get just absolutely plastered drunk, and there's a scene where, like, Arthur wakes up, and everyone in the bar looks like Lenny.
Lenny!
But anyway, it does a good job to paint this friendship that you have with Lenny, and then there's some racist stuff going on between the Lemoyne Raiders and stuff, and so they go to investigate this mansion or something. They go to get dynamite. Yeah. That's what they're going to get dynamite. He's like, I want to bring Lenny. Sure. Bring Lenny on this mission.
Come on, Lenny.
But they go and they shoot everybody there, and you steal the dynamite at that mansion. I forget what it's called.
And what are we using the dynamite for this time? Because this is not for blowing up the bridge. God, this is way before that. Don't we rob another bank and we have to blow a hole in a wall? That might be later. No, because I think that is right before we escape the country. Because we try and rob that bank in somewhere, and I remember Dutch makes you blow a hole in the wall because like the money's not in the bank or something. Like they don't actually have cash there, and like the government's closing in on you, and you have to blow a hole in the wall.
You blow a hole in the wall in Saint Denis.
Okay.
To escape. Okay. You go up on the roof.
I
don't remember us robbing a bank in Rhodes. What happens in Rhodes? This is why we move. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, because people die.
We go into Rhodes. And the sheriff is on to us.
Yeah.
The sheriff is like, oh, wait, you're those guys that are the bad boys. You're not sheriff. Because you get deputized in Rhodes by the sheriff. It's like, wait just a second. And then we're walking through Rhodes or something, like we realize, hold up, this is a trap.
Yeah.
Micah, of course, is there. Micah is there. It's a trap. I don't remember why it was that the sheriff was so upset with us at this point. Oh, we burned down their tobacco fields. We were screwing with everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
Arthur and Lenny, we screwed with everybody. And that mission, I buried some tomahawks and some homies. Yeah. If it was a silent stealth mission, it was like, take out your knife. I think I'll do it with the tomahawk.
Thanks for the offer.
that or the machete. I picked up a machete one time.
Nice, I did too.
Which is bad news. But anyway, the sheriff says, all right, guys, this is your bad news. We got to bring you in or something. And then Micah, start shooting up the place, and then you pretty much shoot up all of Rhodes, and then you're like, hey Dutch, we shot up all of Rhodes, now we got to leave. Now we're at the manor outside of Saint Denis.
And who do we lose in there? Is that when we lose Lenny? Do we lose
No, then the guy with the Sean,
yeah, that's when Sean,
he was an Irishman. You saved him from Blackwater earlier on, and he's like a jokester, but then you're walking down the street, and he just gets popped. Yeah, he just gets shot right in the head from the roof. And that's really what starts things. It's not Micah. He gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
There was a brief cut because the camera only records 30-minute segments, but I would like to talk about a character real quick that I like very much, who gets better, of course, to the end, like you said. I don't know whether that cut or didn't, so who knows. But Charles, who is half African American, half Native American, he kind of has the Native American skills. And he's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
But he is a lot of times the voice of reason. He will do what must be done, but he's never the guy who's saying, I want to rob people.
Yeah.
He's just with this gang. He trusts them. But
he begrudgingly kind of does a lot of things. You can tell in the way he talks, the way he carries himself. Yeah.
He's very capable.
But he's very loyal too.
Very loyal, very capable. Like if you want to be safe, you need to take Charles with you.
Yeah. If you want him to kill an innocent person, he'll do it for you, but he ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be happy about it. So we're talking about Charles. Then we're outside of Saint Denis. Did not realize we would be going to such a city in this game.
I didn't either.
Did not expect that.
It was basically Charleston. It seems like Charleston.
Essentially.
Like I was pretty much like I'm going around in Charleston.
Well, I picture it's probably more supposed to be
of a New Orleans. Yeah. But for my frame of reference, I was like, I'm in Charleston, Bo.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Charleston.
Back in my first years of college. But so then we're in Saint Denis, and what all happens in this chapter, Keith? Because honestly, this game, like I loved it all the way through, but the way that the ending affected me so much that's where most of my memories come from. The game, like a lot of the game, like I said, it's a TV show that I forgot some of the episodes.
Yeah. Well, the reason we go to Saint Denis is because do you remember the name of the Anthony Bronte? Right?
Yeah, he's got Jack.
Yeah, the Braithwaite woman gave Jack to, I don't remember, is it Anthony?
Antoine.
Somebody Bronte.
Yeah, something Bronte.
Bronte. He's Italian. I speak most Italian. That's a Inglourious Basterds reference.
Yeah.
I do love that movie. But we go to Anthony Bronte, and at first we walk in with Dutch, and he treats us poorly because we're all dirty and stuff, and then Dutch makes him laugh.
Smelling of shit. I remember that. I was like, that's when it hit me that I was like, we probably do smell really bad.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Sorry, go ahead.
But we eventually make him laugh, and the tension goes away, and he's like, "Oh no, I got a job for you," and you go shoot some guys in a cemetery for him, and you have a good time working for Anthony Bronte. Anthony is sticking with me, but we're calling him Mr. Bronte.
Yeah, we'll call him Mr. Bronte.
But the whole time but he has Jack, and essentially you go there, and he's like, "Oh, you can have Jack back, pretty much." And Jack is like, "Oh, I just had a good time. I just,
I remember that.
We had spaghetti.
Yeah.
And they describe spaghetti in such a strange way, and that's the first time you think about, oh, these outlaws have probably never had this Italian dish.
Probably never had pizza.
Yeah. At first I said I want to go back to that.
The good news is they never had pineapple on pizza though.
That's true. You're right.
Is that still a meme? Are we still joking about that, guys? I don't know.
I think we'll always be joking about it a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm glad you asked if it was still a meme.
Yeah. I try to stay relevant.
Yeah. We're meme lords.
Yeah.
Pineapple meme lords here. Anyway, you do a lot of stuff for Anthony Bronte.
We go on a social call, don't we?
We go on a social call. We go to a party. We wear tuxes.
Don't quite remember why.
Throughout this game, also, you work with Bill Williamson a lot. If you'll remember, is the first person you're hunting down in Red Dead Redemption 1, which is kind of cool. And you're also with John Marston a lot, which is another cool thing that you kind of see him do.
Yeah.
You see what he was before he was.
Yeah, before you were him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we go to this party and we learn some things. We kind of learn about a score. Somebody mentions, oh, you should rob the carriage station. You should rob the train station or the carriage station, the trolley station in Saint Denis. There's a lot of money there. It's Bronte who suggests that. So essentially, the way the story boils down with all these different stories going on is that Mr. Bronte kind of sets you up. Kind of sets you up for failure. He tells you, go rob this place, but by the time you do go rob it, bada bing, bada boom, all the law is there. And yet again, you hop on a trolley and you shoot a bunch of police officers that didn't deserve to die.
Yeah.
And Dutch gets it in his head, which I think he's probably right. I'm sure he was right. I just can't remember the whole thing. Yeah. But Dutch gets in his head, Bronte set us up. Bronte has to die. Dutch gets blood in his eyes. Everybody's like, Dutch, we can just leave. Or we can just, we don't have to go back and kill him. But then you go, then he's like, no, we got to go kill Bronte. So you need a boat.
We got to kill him.
Yeah, you need a boat. So you go to that one mission where you hunt down the giant alligator.
Yeah.
Which is pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But whenever you're walking through the mud, but you're in the boat and you're shooting at an alligator and it's huge. I need to go back and kill all those big legendary animals, but I never did that.
I'll do that one day too.
Oh God.
I'm sitting at 87% right now.
I need more time. I'm probably like 40%. I've done the story missions is pretty much it.
Okay.
Can I go back and do some of the strangers, or do I have to be Arthur for the strangers?
No, you can do them as John. The way that it's canonized is that John gets Arthur's journal. Yeah. And so he knows about all these people. He's like, oh, I'm going to go check in on this person that you've interacted with. Yeah. And like you'll talk about Arthur.
That's it. That's pretty cool. I'm glad I saved him then, actually.
Yeah. Some of them are actually better if you do them as John. I did most of them as Arthur, but there are a few that I did as John.
That's cool. Hey, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You get to play as John.
Hey, you guys are in the video. If y'all are still here, y'all know what you're doing.
Yeah. So you get the boat, and he drives you up to the back of the Bronte Manor, and you go in there and you gun everybody down again. But not Bronte. You want to bring Bronte back.
This is the guy that Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I know what we're doing.
Yep. So you get back. If you want to drive, you take the wheel.
No, you take it. Take it. I'm gonna take over near the end.
Yeah, please do. So you get Bronte, you take him back, and when you get to the shore, essentially, like he's again spitting venom at you. Like essentially, a lot of these people are calling Dutch out.
Yeah,
he doesn't like that.
He gets kind of butthurt. You can see it in his eyes. That I forget exactly what Angelo Bronte's telling him, but he's basically just telling him.
Is it Angelo?
Angelo, that's it. Did I just say it?
I think you did.
Angelo Bronte, there we go. Okay.
Nice!
I'm good for something. Okay, but Angelo Bronte is basically just saying, like, all your money's illegitimate, you just get it, you're just going to be running for the rest of your life, you're never going to have any stability, and Dutch is just like, man, this man's right.
Yeah.
He drowns in.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, it's characters calling out things that are obvious to everyone looking in, that like, Dutch, this is bad.
And they're kind of illuminating it for Arthur. Because the game will make a point of how they make a point of how Dutch reacts to people calling him out, and then they make a point of how Arthur reacts to people calling Dutch out. Because he agrees with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Not willing to admit it yet, maybe.
Not yet, but especially right now. Everybody in that boat but Dutch is like, this is not cool.
Yeah, this is not cool.
Because he drowns the man and then tosses him out there for the gators.
Yeah. And that's not an honorable way to go.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
That's not
If anything,
cool.
duel the man,
Yeah.
Killing a man is not necessarily a problem in the Wild West. It's how you do it.
Yeah.
And that's not how you do it.
Yeah. That was, and you can see the look on everybody. Like, and John is like, Dutch, like trying to stop him, and but yeah, exactly. That is another turning. That is a real turning point, I think, for Arthur as well. As he's like, this is when he starts calling Dutch out for those kind of things. Like, you gonna kill another man like that, or you gonna?
In the next chapter, it gets even worse. This is after we kill Angelo Bronte. Is there one more big score we do before we have to hit the road, or do we hit the road immediately?
I don't remember if the casino boat is before or at. I think the casino boat, because you go on a casino boat and you rob them. Yeah, you do get a few bucks from that, but I think that's before the trolley station. Yeah, so I think it's trolley station, Bronte, and then we got to get out of here. We're going to Tahiti.
Yeah, there's a big shootout first though, where we lose some big people. We lose Hosea.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, the bank. The bank is what we're trying to rob in Saint Denis.
Yeah. Okay, so I was right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we robbed the bank.
There's so much.
I'm telling you, this is a long. It's a 6-season TV show that I've forgotten a lot of the episodes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we rob that bank and we get in there and things don't go according to plan. We don't get to go to Tahiti because we don't get enough money.
Yeah.
So because there's like not enough cash in the bank.
Have some faith.
Yeah. And Hosea dies, big blow to the gang because he literally is the voice of reason.
You're in the bank. The thought of the bank is we're going to cause a distraction. We're in the bank. Everything's going to be fine when we get out of there. But something goes wrong. Also, they get suspicious of John and Abigail because Abigail wasn't around when she was supposed to be causing a distraction. And then they end up, all the laws outside. They're in the middle of robbing the bank, and then you hear Dutch say, "John, get out here!" And then the government boys, Pinkertons everywhere, and they got Hosea.
Yeah.
Back to you.
And then, okay. What happens? You just keep going. Keep going.
Okay, so they got Hosea. He says, "All right, come on out, or we'll kill him, or whatever." And of course, we don't come out. They do kill him. They shoot Hosea,
okay.
Which we haven't mentioned him at this point, but essentially is like the grandpa of the group.
Yeah,
he was like the wise, almost like Dutch's mentor.
Yeah,
the wise
guy's got to be like in his late 60s.
Yeah,
probably. He's an old guy. Old, skinny, feeble-looking guy.
And he's also one of the first ones saying, like, Dutch, we don't need to be doing, this or that and the other.
Yeah. Don't need to be bringing all these eyeballs on us and stuff like that. But Dutch never listens, of course.
Nope.
But yeah, so we lose.
He's gunned down in the street.
We lose Hosea. I'm trying to think. Okay, this is kind of off subject, but we're at the mansion. Is this after we get back from Gorma, the part with the Gatling gun? Do you remember that?
Because I'm trying to think.
Okay, I was about to go into that, but I think that's after. Yeah, okay.
So we're in the bank. Hosea is dead, and of course Hosea gets shot, and Dutch says, "Light him up," or whatever, like whatever the equivalent of "I'm upset, kill everybody." Yeah. So you kill everybody as much as you can, but they keep coming. And then Dutch says, "Arthur, blow a hole in the wall. You blow a hole in the wall. Right now, you've got John, you've got Lenny, Bill Williamson, Micah, Javier." Dutch, yourself, I think, are all the people in the bank. You're going out to the wall. You climb up on top of the roof. Lenny's with you. You shoot a couple more guys, and then you turn around. And when you're running away, waiting for everybody else to come up, Lenny's in front of you. Government guys come out, blow him away. Lenny is dead.
Rip Lenny.
And that's Arthur is that's Arthur's best friend, I think, in the group at this point. It's like or kind of like his, under his wing guy.
Yeah, he's his personal he's his favorite. Yeah.
And then Dutch says they got John, but we don't know if he's dead or if he's been captured. They think captured, maybe. Yeah. Javier gets shot in the leg. I think it's when he gets shot in the leg, or maybe.
And we got to carry him to the boat, right? Isn't someone carrying him?
No, maybe Javier doesn't get shot until we get to the island.
Okay.
I think he gets shot whenever we get overtaken.
Okay. Well, don't we just like take a random boat and stand and eat? How do we even? I forgot how that transpires.
Yeah. So we hole up. We find a place to hole up till nighttime, and then the boys. So Dutch, Arthur, Javier, Micah, and Arthur. Yeah. Those 5. Because Charles wasn't with us during the bank robbery. He ran off. He's part of the distraction or something. Yeah. And John is not there. So yeah, we wait till dark. No, Charles is with us. He's the one who helped us get away. Sorry. Charles is with us. Nighttime, go down towards the docks. We're trying to hide on a boat with our little bit of gold that we have left over from the bank. Charles, we're almost to the boat, but there's guards everywhere. Charles says, you guys go, I'll cause a distraction. Charles runs off. The guys go away. What a G. You hop on the boat. Arthur, Javier, Micah, Bill Williamson, Dutch. Hop on the boat.
A dream team, right?
Dream team. We got gold. Things might be okay for a thing. And then the ship goes down, storm, and we land on Guarma.
And this is it's a sugar plantation. There's a bunch of labor that we start working with. Yeah, there's slaves that we team up with.
You find your way to the gang again as Arthur washes up, and then we get put in shackles. Yeah. The people who own the plantation on the island put us in shackles, but then some freedom fighters, break us loose, and we become freedom fighters.
We team up with them. And the government is still onto us, though, even though we are not an American anymore, correct? That warship, who is that? It's not Pinkerton's coming for us, though. Who is in that warship? Because there's a big old ship that pulls up on us.
I think it's the people, I don't remember who it was. I think it's just the government or the soldiers.
They're there for us, though?
I think they are there because the guy calls for help. Whenever we steal the folks back, right?
Okay, yeah.
I think. Again,
something like that.
It is.
I remember big beats. I don't remember how they all connect.
Yeah,
we're trying.
Hopefully,
the folks at home will play the game for themselves.
Yeah, hopefully they already have, and they're just looking for people to talk about it.
Yeah, God knows that's what I do whenever I finish a video game. Let's listen to some people talk about this, because I got to talk about it with somebody.
So essentially, the way we wrap that island up is we get Javier gets taken, and the rest of us go save Javier. We end up killing the dude that owns the place, or that's not owns the place, but because it's Cornwall. Right? Leviticus Cornwall.
We forgot about him. He's the third villain going on.
Yeah, Leviticus Cornwall is the guy that we robbed in Valentine to begin with.
Okay, Blackwater, right?
Oh no, yeah, sorry, Blackwater. Yeah, okay. He's following us as well. Leviticus Cornwall, I think, owns this plantation on this island.
Yeah,
and he sent folks after us. People come after us on a big ship. We shoot a cannon at them. We sink the ship.
Yeah, it gets pretty epic. I did not know we were going to go to war in this game.
We blow people away, and at the end of the day, the guy on the island that helps us survive, he charters us a boat, and we get back home.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time on Guarma.
Yeah, it's a really short chapter. By far the shortest chapter in the game.
Is there a way to get back there?
I don't think so, honestly. I mean, maybe. But
seems like a lot of work for me to somebody to accidentally just crit path it and never be able to come back. There's a parrot there that I didn't kill.
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe there's a way to get back. I bet maybe if you go to one of those boats in Saint Denis or something, a port, maybe you can get back.
You probably could. I wouldn't put it past the game. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, and I would say that this chapter is really short, but it just kind of serves to drive the point of one of the big points of this game, like we said, is that this way of life is coming to an end, and it's very clearly outlined by this chapter because we leave the country
and you can't get away,
and we can't get away from this stuff. Someone's still coming after us. It's just illustrating this point that we can't escape what we've done at this point. There's too much stuff. There's too many eyeballs on us.
Too much blood on our hands.
There's nothing we can do. Then we get back, and the gang. Whenever we get back to America, the gang kind of splits up, right? And we're like, we'll meet back up.
Yeah, the gang splits up. I mean, Charles kind of tries to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And they hole up in kind of a different little spot, right? Because they go back to Arthur goes back to the manor.
And you're riding the horse playing that awesome music. Remember whenever you first get back to the city, you have to steal a horse, and it's playing that music. I forgot how it goes. I remember the music later on.
Yeah.
But you're riding back, and then no one's there, right? But
No one's at the house, but the Pinkertons show up looking for, like, surely boss keeps telling us come back here every day or whatever. Yeah. Eventually somebody's going to come. You find a note from Abigail who says, like, what's their Kilgore? What's the name they use for all their Tacitus Kilgore? Yeah. Is the name they use on all their communications for the gang. Everything addressed to the gang should go to Tacitus Kilgore.
Okay.
So there's a note, Uncle Tacitus or whatever, I think, and they kind of tell her or Abigail in that note tells Arthur where they've been. And so they find their way there. And yeah, so whenever they get to, the 5 guys from Guarma that we do split up.
Yeah.
Then we try to get back up. Then we go and we meet back up at camp. There's a warm welcome for us deep in the swamp.
So we're still, when the Pinkertons show up, it's later, right? Because we go back to the mansion. And we have more people with us when the Pinkertons show up. Are we going there to clear stuff out, or what?
There's 2 guys, there's 2 Pinkertons that show up on horses while we're at the mansion, but we just kill them and get on.
Okay. But I remember later on, maybe it's not at the mansion then. But I guess it's not at the mansion. It's at the new camp.
The Gatling gun part?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the new camp in the swamp.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because then we're there.
It's in that place that's like haunted. People think it's haunted.
Yeah. Okay. And we're there, and then I think we're having that warm welcome, like you were saying. And then Bill Williamson finally shows back up.
Yep.
And apparently the way that he found us was by going to every town in the statewide area and going, hey, has anyone seen Dutch Vanderlyn or John Marston? I'm looking for them. We're in a gang, we're kind of on the run. If anyone could tell me where they're at, that'd be really cool.
Because he brings all the Pinkertons with him.
Yeah. And I remember another one of my favorite lines in this game is where Arthur is like hiding behind a thing with his gun. The shootout's about to start. And what's the leader of the Pinkerton? Milton, right? Yeah. And he's sitting there and he's like, you sons of guns, you filthy sons of guns, I'll track you, I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth, there ain't nowhere you can run that you ever. And Arthur goes, I'm tired of this fool's mouth. Yeah. You come out, you do die, and it says, fatal areas are now highlighted in red. I was like, oh my God, Keith, talk about a smile on my face when it says fatal areas are highlighted in red.
That's the moment in the trailers and the gameplay reveals where that's one of the moments they showed is when you turn around and it goes to the shootout.
Like where it cuts. One of the things that I talked about, how even before this game came out, how it would do in trailers, where I was like, there's just such a seamless transition between what would in a traditional game be a cutscene and then just immediate gameplay, like how it does that. But yeah, really cool moment.
We're in a new era when it comes to that. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's awesome. Almost the next decade, Keith.
Yep. You shoot everybody there. Milton escapes.
Yep.
But tell us about there's one gun emplacement that you end up getting to use in that we talked about before.
Gatling gun.
We're finally here.
Gatling gun. Yeah. And don't you use one on a vehicle?
Yeah, it came on a cart.
Okay. Yeah. But at first you're stationary.
As well.
Okay. Yeah. There's good big Gatling guns in the game. So then we escape from the Pinkertons, of course.
Yeah. The way I played that is I ran them into the woods and tried to chase them off, and then they're like, "Somebody get on that Gatling gun!" And I was like, "I want it to be me, me." And then it's just way faster than any Gatling gun in that era would have shot.
Yeah. Very inaccurate though, which was nice. Nice of them. Very nice.
I love the splintering of the stuff, and it's cool.
And you can do it in Deadeye too. You can't lock onto them, but you can slow down time.
Wonderful. Man, we gotta get to the end of this game.
Yeah. How long are we?
We're gotta be approaching an hour.
Alright, okay. So, chapter 6, Arthur gets a diagnosis.
Yeah.
We've moved, by the way, let's just say where we moved real fast. We moved to the one place where we think no one's gonna come looking for us, which is up in, not Scanner territory. Is it Scanner territory?
That's at the end.
It's some dirty evil gang.
Yeah, it's the cannibal people.
Yeah, the cannibal people. Okay, yeah. We moved to Beaver Hollow, and we're like, we're going to stay here because even the law is scared to come up here. Arthur goes to meet Sadie for something because I think we're about to break John out of jail because John's still in jail at this point.
Yeah.
And Dutch doesn't seem to care about it.
And I bet, I have to imagine the timeline for some of these events is different, so I don't know. We did things in different orders, so that's probably why we're kind of goofed up.
Yeah, because you can do some of the missions.
Yeah, and we'll be goofed up with you, but continue.
Yeah. So we're in Beaver Hollow. John is in jail from the Saint Denis thing, and Dutch doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. Abigail keeps asking him for someone to go get him. Please, 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 please. Dutch ain't doing it. It's not part of the plan. I have a plan, Abigail. Yeah. So Arthur and Sadie take it into their own hands, and you're going to meet Sadie at a bar in Saint Denis, I think. Mm-hmm. And while you're walking to Saint Denis, you pass out. And then I think you wake up, and then you kind of like drag yourself to the doctor, right? Doctor tells you got tuberculosis, lights up a freaking pipe. We can bleep that. Yeah. Lights up a pipe right in front of him after telling him he's got tuberculosis. And then, it's pretty rough. And then Arthur
essentially he's like, hey, it's not 100% chance of death, but he's like, you're going to need to rest. Do you think it's possible that you'll be able to rest or whatever? He's like, hell no.
Yeah.
I'll be able to rest.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but Arthur's got tuberculosis.
TB, man.
And then we got break John out of jail, blah, blah, blah. Dutch gets mad because I had a plan. Mm-hmm. And by this point, Arthur's got that classic thing that happens to a lot of men where you get a terminal diagnosis, you start to think about your life. Yep. Start to think about what you've done wrong. Start to think about where Dutch went wrong. Mm-hmm. Start to think about where we were and where we are now. Yep. And at this point, Arthur, I have a bad habit, Keith, of comparing everything I love to Breaking Bad. Okay. But Arthur has this thing at the end, like he does, where, like in Breaking Bad, where it's like, we've ruined everything. There's no way I can ever be a good person in this situation. Okay, yeah. But I can do what I can to make what little right I can with what I have. Yeah. And he does. He ends up doing it.
Whatever foothold I can get to try to make it right, I'll do.
In whatever little small way I can. Mm-hmm. Especially in Breaking Bad, very small ways.
Yeah. All the while doing his best to try to salvage Dutch.
Yeah. But kind of at the same time knowing it's a lost cause. Yeah. And so Arthur's plan then becomes to convince John basically to give this up, that it's at an end. Mm-hmm. You got to go. You got to take your wife. You got to get some money. You got to leave Dutch. You got to never do any of this again. You got to make your own life. This is your second chance. Mm-hmm. Arthur doesn't have a second chance because he's dying. He wants to make sure that his surrogate brother, because John, you know the way Dutch calls Arthur's son. Yeah. John's kind of the same with Dutch, right? Yeah. Like Dutch, they're both kind of, which is weird because Dutch ain't that much older than Arthur. He probably shouldn't be calling him son, but
he's old enough to have took him under his wing when he was a teenager.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so, shoot, where were we, Keith?
I'm going to do one more quick cut just to get ahead of the game.
Okay. Almost done, folks.
Yeah, almost done. Good gravy, boys.
All right.
All right, folks, we're back. Some things that we forgot to mention. On Guarma, Dutch strangles an old lady that guides Arthur and himself through a cave. Yes. Strangles her to death. Mm-hmm. Arthur, not cool with it.
Yeah, and Dutch is like, I know a little bit of Spanish. She was up to no good. Yeah. And then Arthur's like, you don't know Spanish.
Yeah, she was definitely, she looked up to no good, but there's no way they would have known. Yeah. Just another point of Arthur not cool with Dutch right now. Yeah. We'd like to mention as well, something about, we killed
Leviticus Cornwall himself. Yeah. And Dutch has a pretty cool little speech that almost got me on his side for a minute. Yeah. It doesn't really make a whole lot of it, but in the moment I was like, yeah, Dutch, you tell him. Where he's like, you kill people, you rob people, but you do it indiscriminately. You do it to everybody. I pick my targets honorably. And I was like, yeah, Dutch, you tell him. But then we kill him, kill a bunch of the boys, and then take it away. What happens after that?
Yeah, so sorry, we're getting to that end of the game. Yeah. A lot of stuff that happens. Arthur's also not cool with that kill. No. He did he thought they were going to go negotiate or something, but they end up hiding behind a table and then pop out, have a speech, then gun him down. Yeah. And Dutch does it. Normally it's Dutch says, "All right, boys." Yeah. But this time Dutch just shoots a guy. Yeah. So things happen. Arthur is already getting the idea this is over. We got to we got to try to salvage what good is left. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, Milton finds them somehow. And he kidnaps Abigail and Jack, I think. Or just Abigail or something.
I think it's just Abigail because Tilly's taking care of Jack.
Yeah, because Tilly's taking care of Jack. It's just Abigail. And so you and Sadie, and you're very sick at this point. Like your eyes are bloodshot. There's a point in the game where the game says you have reached your minimum weight. Yeah.
And Arthur he looks bad. I let him grow his beard out really long just because I was like, I don't want to see your sick face, dude.
Yeah, he looks rough. But Sadie, you go and try to rescue Abigail from Milton, the Pinkerton man, with Sadie, and Sadie's like, "Oh, you look far too sick. Let you cover me." And this is the first time you haven't been the one get in action. But you cover her. She gets taken into the same little building with Milton, and you run down. You gun down some guys, and you get in there. You fight with Milton, and he's about to kill you. You're weak, and he's got the gun, and he's pressing it toward the head, and then Abigail gets her probably first kill.
Yeah, probably.
Because she's not into that. She is not. Her son and her son's father are in this gang. I think, given the choice, she'd be out of there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So then we get back to camp, and Arthur says, "Abigail, Tilly's got Jack. Y'all need to go and leave." Mm-hmm. And it's at this moment is when you walk.
Is John still in jail at this point, or do we have him?
We have John.
Okay, cool.
We have John. This is after Sadie has been going on her crusade to kill all the O'Driscolls, and you end up going with her, which is a really cool moment. You go with her and you gun down all the O'Driscolls that are left. And anytime there's a moment where like we're killing for justice, I don't even bring a rifle. It is all 12 gauge. It is like if I'm going in there to dish out some justice, it's like 12 gauge, no headshots, 12 gauge center mass every time. So we kill all those, and there's the end of that. Sadie's like covered in blood, and she's like, I just need some time.
And she has that moment where I just want to say that this is the moment that made Sadie definitely a top 5 character in the game for me, where she just talks about how the O'Driscolls made me this. Like they turned me into this. I was just a housewife, and now I'm this mass murdering crazy lady because they killed my boy.
They killed him.
I love that moment. I love that moment.
Oh, it was good. So
that
gets us to the point where Arthur, I think, is headed to Dutch to be like, hey, this is it. We're done. Now take us away.
How does he find out about Micah? Milton tells him.
Milton tells him
about Micah.
Milton, before he dies, tells him Micah is the one who's been feeding him information.
And it wasn't that girl that claimed Molly. Remember, Molly's like, I told him everything, because she's all mad at Dutch. She's drunk and stuff, and she gets shot. And we assumed she was a rat. We find out that Micah, the dirty Micah, was a rat all along.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just when you think you can't hate him anymore. I mean, it seems so obvious in retrospect, but
it's not obvious that he was a rat. It's obvious that he's a villain.
He's up to no good. Yeah. So then, what exactly is? Because I remember so much. I remember the epilogue in perfect detail, but I don't remember exactly what transpires to get us to pretty much the end of Arthur's story.
Okay.
What are we running from?
We roll up. The Pinkertons, I think, are coming for us. There's more Pinkertons. We roll up on Dutch. And Micah, who has now recruited 2 more homeboys to be with them. And
Joe and Cleet.
And we roll up on Dutch, I believe, with John. John's with us.
Yeah.
We roll up on Dutch. Why is John with us, or is he at camp?
I don't know. I don't know if he's at camp at the time, but I know that we were with him after, because someone shows up at camp, right? And we have to escape.
Yeah, the Pinkertons show up.
Yeah, okay. And then we're with John. I know we're with John after that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We roll, because John is with us in the shootout, though. Because he's like, because Dutch wants him to choose.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where we tell Dutch that Micah's a rat, and Dutch doesn't really want to believe it, all that stuff.
Yeah, and then John comes to our side, Dutch goes to Micah's side. And so, we roll up on Dutch, and we're like, Dutch, I am sure things are wrong. Listen, it's gone far enough, this is over, we got to stop this. Micah is the rat. Micah is the one who's been doing this. It's not me. It's not me who doesn't have any faith. It's Micah who's been messing everything up. I've known it all along. He's the reason we've become this way. And Micah says, you're just trying to undermine us. You've been undermining us this whole time. You don't have any loyalty. You don't have any faith.
Using all those sound bites that Dutch loves to get him on his side. Yeah.
And Dutch is like, you got to choose. If you're not with me, you're against me, essentially. And then they're all about to shoot each other. And the way it's set up is it's 4-on-2. Like, Jack, I mean, if I was playing, I'd win. Because I Deadeye them all. Yeah. But just Jack, or it's John and Arthur there, and the other guys, and then you hear a gunshot. It's the Pinkertons. They found us. We all got to run.
Yep, we escaped.
You and Arthur escaped through the caves. Then you're going up a mountain.
You're going up a mountain. Let's call it there. We're going up a mountain.
I do want to say my horse got shot.
Yes, that's what we're at.
I bought one horse the whole game.
Me too.
His name was Moses, and I loved him.
He was the terrible horse, wasn't he?
Huh?
Mine was the terrible horse. Was yours the terrible
horse? No, I got the one horse, the little boy.
Yeah.
But I did buy one more horse.
Okay. But Moses.
My main horse, Moses, got shot. That hurt.
Yeah, it hurt.
And now we're on a mountain.
Yeah. But Arthur has that moment where he's like, thanks for everything, boy.
He does.
Aw.
And he gives John his satchel. He gives John everything he's got, and he says, go.
puts the hat on him too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then John leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when do we encounter Micah? I know we're on a mountain.
We're on the mountain.
We encounter Micah.
We're heading up. We're heading up, and we're chasing Micah down or something.
Yeah. And we have like a 10-minute fist fight with Micah.
We do.
And Micah's calling you Black Lung because he loves calling you Black Lung. And he says this thing where you're calling him a rat, and he says, "I'm a survivor, Black Lung. I saw how things was going." And it's like, I mean, yeah, it probably was a smart thing to, especially because the Pinkertons. I remember when at the very beginning, whenever they offer Arthur the chance to rat on Dutch, they're like, all I want is Dutch. If you give me Dutch, you're good. So I mean, it kind of makes sense why Mike. I mean, I'm not condoning ratting or anything.
Yeah.
But Micah had that moment.
Stitches get stitches. Remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and then Dutch shows up.
Yep.
And points a gun at you because you're fighting Micah.
Hold on just a second. We gotta do one more cut for the battery.
Okay.
Okay, folks, we're back. We're on a mountain. The fist fight ends. A pistol is pulled out and kicked away, and Micah's like standing there taunting you as you crawl to the pistol. You put a hand on it and a foot.
Dutch.
Dutch.
And don't remember exactly how this conversation goes, but I know that Arthur says one thing that really tugged at my heartstrings.
Yeah.
He looks up at Dutch, dying, and he says, "I gave you everything I had, Dutch." And you can see it kind of hits Dutch in that moment. That like, man, I did this man dirty. I did my boy Arthur wrong. I should have listened to him. I should have put him through all this. This ain't right. The man's dying. And that really hit me. It's like he really did give everything he had. I mean, his whole worldview, everything was based around what Dutch said. And then it all fell apart in that moment. But Arthur got to die, at least in my verdict. I had the good ending. I had the high honor thing. I think he dies a little bit more violently if you're a bad guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but my Arthur died resting against a rock watching the sunset, knowing that John has it in his head that he's going to get out of this. Arthur never has it confirmed that John has a happy ending. Really, in the end of Red Dead 1, he doesn't have a happy ending.
But he knows he did everything he could.
He knows he did everything he could. Yeah. And that is the Red Dead redemption. That is his redemption.
Exactly.
Red Dead Redemption.
And I love that. I love it when a title means something. And it does. And for most of the game, you don't think that way. But I mean, it's not a full redemption. Like John's family, one life, 3 lives is not worth.
It doesn't make up for the hundreds of people they killed and all that stuff. But like we said, it's the one thing he could have done for his boy to make it. To make things right.
Which is cool because even at the beginning, I'm slowing us down. But at the beginning of the story, like you don't really care for John because John left for a long time and came back.
You're holding that over him,
but now you're best buds.
Yep. So sad ending to Arthur's story. Then we skip ahead about. I did the math, Keith, because they say at some point we're in 1907 in the epilogue. Skip ahead about 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And John and his family we're playing as John now.
Yeah.
And we're going into this now, right?
We're going in.
Okay.
I had no idea this was coming.
Keith, I read a spoiler.
The only idea I had was I clicked on a GIF that had a spoiler tag, and I was like, well, I've finished most of the story. Surely this won't get me.
Yeah.
And I saw a spoiler tag, and I saw a guy like coming up over a barrier from the back, playing Red Dead, and firing, and it had the hat. That's John's hat. And I thought maybe it's a collectible or something. I thought, what, maybe there's a quick moment where I play as John to save Arthur or something.
Yeah.
Did not expect what we got.
It makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because Red Dead 1, you played Red Dead 1, right? Yeah, because that one has an epilogue too, in the same way where you play as someone else.
Yeah.
You play as Jack. But and you once again in Red Dead 1, just how Jack avenges his dad. John gets some revenge in this epilogue. It's so good, Keith. This epilogue felt like coming home to me.
It was good.
Playing as John, the fact that it was very slow paced, I kind of liked it. It was like a big breather. It was like, okay, this is the new life.
It was like a 3 hour to 4 hour epilogue, was it not? Like it was huge.
Dude, it was like 8 hours.
Oh yeah,
the whole thing. Yeah,
I spent so much time on it.
It's the length of some games.
Yeah,
but it starts out really slow. You're working for this guy at a ranch. Eventually, you buy your own ranch, which is Beecher's Hope, which is John's home in the first game.
Yep.
And you group up with Uncle. You group up with Charles again. Yeah, Charles is
very happy to see.
Yeah,
because you find Charles in Saint Denis.
He's throwing fights,
and he's fighting.
Yeah,
he's fisticuffing.
You're like, come on, Charles, let's go build this house. You can live with me. We do that, and then pretty much I'm just going to go straight into the end. But there's one thing I want to say. Abigail has left you because, of course, John couldn't stop getting into gunfights. So Abigail leaves you. Your plan is, I'm gonna buy this house that she wanted. I'm gonna send her a letter. One day she's gonna show up.
Yeah. The moment when you build I gotta talk about some gameplay stuff. Okay. Whenever you're building the house and that song is playing, it's just like banjo and this really happy song, and you and
he's
Uncle
hammering
Charles,
to the beat.
Yeah, and
that was a feel good moment.
That was a feel good moment. It was one of those things. There's like the tough parts of this game are pretty much over.
Mm-hmm. And I was in the back of my mind, I was like, man, that boy Arthur. Yeah. He put this in John's head.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing that I love about this game, a lot of people complain. I'm getting sidetracked again too. A lot of people complain about, I got so attached to Arthur, and now I got to play the post game as John. I just don't really feel it. But tell me if I'm being too artsy in this interpretation, Keith. But maybe that's the point. Maybe they want you to have in the back of your mind, like, man, I kind of miss Arthur, because John misses Arthur. And you're playing as John in the post game. Maybe I'm too artsy. Maybe that's what they're going for. But it might just been like incidental. That just happened to be a byproduct of you playing as John at the end. You're gonna miss Arthur.
But it also could be a whole thing of like maybe you let what happened to Arthur inform the way you play as John too.
True.
Like maybe you let what Arthur tried to do affect the way John lives his life, which it seems to have done because we'll get to one of your favorite lines.
Oh yeah. Wait, what was one of my favorite
about
lines?
The dragon?
Yep, we're getting out that. So we're building the house. There's one other little thing.
Okay.
There's a little subplot going on with the Skinners.
Yep.
Which are these really evil outlaw Skinner, just sadistic people.
Kill for fun.
They kill for fun. And I feel like they're supposed to kind of represent the last vessel of the Wild West in a way. It's John having to confront that one element of his past that's like people just doing evil things. Like, I don't know. It kind of seemed to represent the Wild West to me. Anyways, let's get to my final point. Sadie shows up at the house because John's been hanging out with Sadie a little bit in the epilogue.
Because she's a bounty hunter
now, and it's awesome. She shows up and she tells you, "I know where he is.
Yes, sir.
I know where Micah is."
Because they haven't forgot.
They haven't forgot.
8 years. You could have just let it go.
Yeah.
But
Abigail's saying that pretty much. She's like, "You gotta just let it go." And John has this moment where he's like, "Look, if I don't do this, this place is no more real than one of Jack's dragons."
And Jack likes to read a lot.
Yeah, Jack likes to read a lot of fantasy books and stuff. Yeah. This place is no more real than one of Jack's dragons. If you don't understand that, she's like, "John, I'm just trying to get you to understand." He's like, "I need you to understand. If I don't do this, this is nothing." Yeah. And so he goes off. Abigail's crying. I know John's going to survive this because it was the first game, but I almost started crying whenever Abigail's face.
Yeah, that's rough.
She looked so upset, and like knowing, okay, John's going to survive this time, but I know that in Red Dead 1 he doesn't. So
he doesn't.
Her being upset about him dying still affected me because I know she's going to have to deal with it someday.
And the whole thing is this whole thing is going to follow him all the way to his terminus, which is death in his own front yard.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rough. We'll have to talk about Red Dead 1. Yeah. But so we go up this mountain, Keith. Biggest smile on my face that I've had definitely all year playing a video game. Even more than Let's Go, Keith. Yeah. I was happy playing Let's Go. But when we're walking up that mountain and John Marston's old theme kicks in.
Yes, sir.
It's like remix kind of, but and you get up to the top of the hill and one of Micah's boys, I think it's either Joe or Cleet, and he's standing there and he's like, "Just you, huh?
Yeah.
Just you. Ain't you got a habit of just showing up? Yeah. Just you left, huh? Just me." Those freaking horns going. And you're going up, and the whole time you're walking up the mountain, killing everybody, but going, "Micah Bell!
Yeah.
I'm just here for Micah Bell! I'm just here for Micah!"
And you kill everybody.
And then you get up there, you have this shootout with Micah.
Yeah.
And Sadie gets shot during this point, and she's following you.
Stabbed.
Yeah, okay, she gets stabbed in the tummy. There ends up being a shootout with Micah.
My tummy, John! Yeah. She doesn't say that.
We end up in a shootout. Micah's holding Sadie with a gun to her head. You got the gun on him. The door opens. Dutch walks out.
Dutch.
And my mind's scrambling. I'm like, "Dutch, you son of a gun." I thought, because at the end, he seemed to be genuinely moved by Arthur's thing that he said, and he walks separate ways from Micah. I'm like, how did you end up back with Micah? But then John's like, "Dutch, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Same as you, I suppose, until you came and screwed it all up." No, he's like, "Same as you, I suppose." So I guess Dutch was trying to be a sneaky little snake, try to get on Micah's good side to find a moment to kill him. Because I think what Arthur said to Dutch really did affect him, where he was like, "I gave you all I had, and you sided with this guy." So I feel like during those 8 years, Dutch did some soul searching. He was like, Dutch wanted to have his own little Red Dead Redemption. He was like, he had the same idea as Arthur. Arthur was a good boy. We got to kill Micah.
We got 8 years. You think that's Red Dead Redemption 3? We plays Dutch finally?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we get that moment. And man, just so satisfying, Keith. So satisfying. The music, like I said, John's speech just made that mission mean so much to me.
I was a little bit angry that Dutch got to kill Micah.
Yeah.
But
well, no, you do get to finish him off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you shot me pretty good.
Shot me pretty good. And then you pull up Deadeye.
Yeah.
Did you shoot him all the times in the face?
Oh no, I RP'd in that moment. Like I'm not thinking of most effective way to kill. Like I just thought of like just fill this guy full of holes.
Yeah. I just shot him in the face 6 times, and he actually had a big hole in his face. Did he have a hole in his face?
Yeah, he had a big hole in the side. I did hit him in the face one time.
Okay.
But yeah, I tried to do the RP. Like John is angry, and like this is not a difficult thing. Like I'm not going to go for my normal one headshot. Yeah. Just like I'm going to unload on this dude.
Yeah. I should have done that.
But yeah, he just
immensely satisfying.
Yep. That walks away.
He has a little Gus Fring moment from Breaking Bad, where remember his face gets blown off. But yeah, Keith, great game. Fantastic game.
It's a great game.
Don't need to keep the folks here any longer.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the game more in detail. We gave you guys the beat by beat, our thoughts on very specific parts of the game. We'll be back in a few weeks for a Goaty talk, and we will. You guys might feel like we're leaving you hanging because we just talked about the end and we're done, but we're done for the day. This is about an hour and a half. We'll talk about it more at Goaties. We'll see you guys there. Keith, take it away.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. If you are hearing this, you are the real MVP.
Kevin, we love you.
And anyone else. Kevin. Anyone else, thank you for being here. We hope maybe one day if we ever get a little bit of an audience going on, you will come back and watch this and like maybe you're years ahead of where we're doing it now. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2 is fantastic.
This will be a relic of the past.
I agree with Will. We had a good time talking about it. We gushed. We went off we went off topic. We had a good time. I can't speak anymore, but it's time for you to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget that for an hour and a half's worth of time and forevermore, we love you.